Hey, what's up fellas? Tim 2004 from PBNation, and I'm going to show you guys how to lube up your inside. Alright, the first thing you're going to do is pull out the engine. And you'll see here, I've actually modified mine. I've taken a couple of the fins out. These fins here, I took out one on each side, just to see if it would lower the pressure. I'll tell you guys right now, it does not work. Don't waste your time. Anyway, we're going to start by just unscrewing this thing and setting part of it aside. And this engine's really simple. I think this is one of the best things Bob has done in a long time. To take it apart, I like to stick my thumb back here and pop this thing loose. Push that back. You'll see this O-ring that went on this groove right here. You'll see the ram shaft, the bolt tip. I like to take my my Allen key, stick it in the back, take my needle nose pliers, stick it right in the tip, and unscrew the bolt tip, just like that. And the parts come apart. I'll just set them aside. So you've got the bolt tip, you've got the can, you've got, I'm not sure what the hell Bob calls this thing, but all I know is it shuts off the air, so I guess it would be called the shutoff. And then your ram shaft here. And something that's very important whenever you're maintaining this marker is to wipe off all the old excess grease. This marker doesn't require a lot of grease like a shocker or anything like that. Make sure you go and clean off the front of this can. Wipe off any of the excess, and then clean off this shutoff really well. Okay. This part right here, the back of the engine, generally I like to take a cotton swab and clean around the inside and get that old lube out. For this demonstration, I'm not going to do that. I think it's a waste of my time for right now, because I already did it once. I'm going to go ahead and take my monkey poo. I think this stuff works fantastic. I use it on pretty much all my spool valves. I'm going to apply a thin layer on the back of this ram housing. And put a little bit on that little O-ring in the front. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this plunger. I'm going to put a little bit of that lube right there on the back of that. I'm going to shove that straight down and line everything back up. I'm going to take this engine, the front of the can, take some lube, put it around there. Okay, and then I'm going to use another finger and clean out what I just put in. It's helping really thin out that lube. And that's going to cover that O-ring in there where the stopper actually seals. I'm going to push that forward, make sure that it seats correctly. I'm going to take the bolt, take this tip, I'm going to go ahead and clean all the excess lube off of it. I'm not a fan of putting any oil or anything on this. I made that known today. I don't think it really does anything, but I always make sure it's clean before I put it back together. Keeping pressure on the back of the ram here, I'm going to go ahead and screw this piece back together. And I just go finger tight with this. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is take the O-ring that went around this edge and put that on there. It's kind of tricky to get on, but after it seats, it kind of stays on there. And you simply screw it back together. I like to make this good and tight. I've seen some people's actually come apart whenever they're shooting. You know, if you make it good and tight, it's not going to go anywhere because of the friction between the O-ring and the two cans. See how freely that moves. The last thing I like to do is take a little bit more monkey poo, put it around the outside O-rings. Very, very, very thin amounts of this stuff, guys. It doesn't take hardly any at all. And there you have it. That's all you have to do to take care of your inside. as far as the engine goes. Slides right back in there. There you go. I hope that helps some of you guys out. If you have any questions, feel free to PM me. Thanks.